What's up, everybody? It's episode 27 of the fAnaticZ podcast. We are your wonderful, handsome hosts. My name is Damien.
Frank.
And you see, my name is Sweaty Time. Whoop whoop. What's our first topic, Dame?
Free
How about them
agency.
Cardinals?
Free agency. We're Monty Assenfort can go back to being Monty Assenfort now because he's not being asked in free agency. He's actually doing some savvy moves, and hopefully, this means that we got a big trade coming through or something. We're not done yet. Hopefully.
Not only that, but it's just like for the first time in a long time, we made commitments on the coaching aspect where we had issues last year, and we committed to bring in guys that will better suit, on the field too. So very rare win for our management, but we'll take it.
Yeah, I remember Sweat being like highly linked and speculated of him going to Arizona. I was like, yeah, nah, because there just felt like too much high expectations already off the grid. Because I remember all three of us talking last week how like the expectations kind of got to be low, even with the high cap space, and just rely on the draft is because that's what Monty O and Bill on the 98.7 just kind of seemed like what their vibe was what their plan was is build through the draft and not really make any wild free agency moves. So it kind of caught me off guard in a good way. So
I wasn't too entirely caught off guard just because they literally fired everyone on the defensive line and sent them home packing. So I knew that they would have to get some sort of free agents, but I just was scared that they would be like mid-tier backup caliber players instead of Josh Sweat and Dalvin Tomlinson. So
Well, and I think the thing that sold Sweat the most was he already had a good relationship with Jonathan Gannon, and that just, made it that much easier to come here, plus the payday, which we got him at a bargain.
yeah, for what around 75.5 million ish
yep,
for 4 years or something like that.
it's a good contract. It gives stability to the defense because now we have some people that the other coach has to scheme up and prepare for. So it gives D Rob and the other guys, you know, some agency to get after the quarterback.
Yeah,
Right. I mean,
somebody else in the group mentioned BJ Ojulari to me. I'm like, damn, I forgot about that fool.
to say coming off of an injury, I think he's one of the guys in camp that's going to be most looked at because there were high expectations before he got injured.
Yeah, and he kind of needs to have a good season to keep his career going. So we'll see.
I
We'll
was going
see.
to say he brought in some dogs on special teams too.
For sure. For sure. I hope we're not done at linebacker because we got the guy from the Bengals. I think his name is Akeem Davis Gaither.
Yes,
Yep,
sir.
he looks like a stud and dog for sure.
I mean,
Yeah, he's a stud on free agency.
picking off Mahomes, you can't be too bad.
Wait, speaking of Mahomes, I just got an ESPN flash that Gardner Minshew signed to be the Chiefs' backup. Oh
Wild.
shit! Cardinals host Sante Samuel Jr. on a Thursday visit.
Shut
That
the
just
Wait,
came
fuck
across
up.
too.
this just dropped.
He's just visiting. He's not here yet officially, but
Quarterback Asante Samuel.
Let's go.
I've been begging
Let's
this. My prayers have
go.
been answered.
well, no, they haven't been answered yet.
I
We're
know
just
that.
big.
I know that. But it's something.
Okay,
It's something.
it's dude. If we land Asante Samuel Jr., our defense is
Ooh.
gonna be fierce, bro. Like we're already good. This would be the cornerback signing that I would really love. Wow, wow. I'm like if the Monty would be cooking if this happens, bro.
Yeah.
He's already cooking. I mean, if
No,
he
no,
gets
no.
this,
He would
if he
be
gets this, it's a
cooking.
five-star restaurant, bro.
Oh yeah, he'd be Ratatouille in the second act of the movie, dog. Like he'd be chefing this shit up.
And you know what's been crazy though so far? All of these new acquisitions have been on the defense.
Yes, and that's what we needed.
So absolutely. And our defense, like most of the time, show like we were top five in the NFL most of the time, even though it had its flaws here and there. So just adding these guys to it, which is crazy, man. And even though we're probably gonna lose Kaiser, I feel like that Akeem, he's gonna fill in his shoes real nicely. So
And
Shit.
with the news of Asante Samuel coming for a visit, I wonder if that's what Buda Baker was hinting at earlier when he did the Jack Nicholson nod.
Dude, that's probably what it was. People were, because I've seen that too on X.
Dude, he's hitting. Every time he has tweeted, there's been a huge addition.
Bro, man, listen. If they get Asante Samuel Jr., bro, I am stoked. Now next year, because a lot of those games, like the Minnesota game and the Carolina game, our defense just needed one stop. But Jefferson gets that 3rd and 18, and you know what I mean? Like, that won't happen when we have better players. Maybe he'll get 10 yards, but they won't let him get a first down and win the game.
Well, right, and then just think about it. Like, how many times that we weren't able to get to the quarterback last year because we really didn't have anybody with that big of an effect that could bowl guys over. Now
Yeah, we
we're
didn't have anybody.
Yeah, it's kind of needed too when we speak on it with the NFC West and the waiver free agency, but having two corners because Rams got Devontae Adams and Puka now too. So we're going to need definitely more than just Garrett Williams, who is not fully proven yet, but he's trending very quickly up in the right direction though. So
Yeah.
help is still needed at corner. Been begging for it.
And safety too, because it's not just Buda Baker. Like, a lot of people don't know this, but Jonathan Gannon and Nick Rowles, they run a defense that's kind of weird. It's a 3 high safety, so there's 3 safeties out there on the field, so they all got to be good. That's why one of my draft prospects that I snagged with my Seattle trade is one I really love. But yeah,
see
I'm excited.
one of the things I like about us addressing the defensive line heavy and getting two of the top names available is now we can focus on our offensive line when it comes to our top picks in the draft. That way, they can come in, get ready to develop, get good coaching because we got a guy that just came off a national championship and who knows Paris Johnson already. So get those guys developed, draft a good wide receiver, and our team's looking good.
Yeah, definitely for sure. There's decent wide receivers out there too. If we go the draft route, we need a speedy guy for sure.
And Cooper
Yeah,
Kupp's still out there.
let's see. So for wide receivers, if we got somebody in free agent, who would you guys want?
Stephon Diggs is still out there.
I'm surprised he hasn't
Stephon
been more active with communicating with the Texans or vice versa.
Stephon Diggs, Cooper Kupp, and Amari Cooper. I think Stephon Diggs just come off of a gruesome injury, so that's probably why.
Honestly, I would have loved us to go after Amari Cooper. I'm not disappointed with bringing Zay back because he is already familiar with the season and he won't be coming off a suspension this time. But just the way they used him was super confusing, and hopefully with the fact that they're using $4.5 million on his contract, they at least have a plan for him.
Yeah, for sure. Cooper Kupp's out there. I think he's too injury prone. And I'm not a really huge fan of that, but I wouldn't hate it if they brought him in there.
I wouldn't. I just feel like we have Dortch who kind of plays a similar style.
Yeah,
So we just tendered him again.
the only upside I would see with Cooper Kupp is having him, Trey McBride, and MSJ down in the red zone. Who, like, that's pretty good, right?
Yeah.
I would think so, but
He can still play. It's just he's not going to get a top dollar.
Yeah, he's very expensive, and we're not looking for all that.
I feel like Amari Cooper being our most reasonable option as
Well,
well.
wait, I'm not done. There's Keenan Allen out there too. He's 33 years old entering the season, but
He said he'd only want to play in LA or Chicago, though, so that's interesting.
huh?
He said like a couple months back or right before the season ended that he only wanted to play in Chicago or go back to LA.
Oh wow. Well, skipping over him then.
But money talks. Look at Myles Garrett.
Yeah, that's true, but still, he's too old for all that. Deontay Johnson, I wouldn't want him.
No.
Tyler Lockett, no. Maybe.
I was gonna say if he wants to come here on a decent team friendly deal, I'm all for Lockett because he's burned us so many times.
No, I think he's done. No, he's for sure done. He's going to. No, he's for sure done. He posted that he's going to Seattle real estate, so he's
What does
done.
that mean? He's retiring?
Yeah, he's going to real estate. So in
Dang,
Seattle,
going from
selling houses.
Oh, you
dang,
mean real estate?
Yeah,
That boy
going from
said
red
real
zone
estate.
to red ribbon.
huh?
Yeah. All right. So that's settled. So outside of what we've already addressed in free agency, guys, what do you think that the Cardinals still should do before the draft?
Make
Honestly,
sure Sante's deal doesn't get left unsigned. Make him happy.
I was gonna say I hope the communication is between Monty and Trey's camp is going well because he's definitely one of the guys we need to lock down long term. But I know, other than a couple more needs in the draft, I wouldn't mind us grabbing another line, like you mentioned earlier, Dave.
Yeah, for sure. I think right now, um, I think we're good. Maybe a linebacker, maybe another linebacker, because we got a lot of these off ball coverage linebackers. We need some more like stout run
Well, not only that, like
run stuff.
we still haven't heard if Kaiser White is leaving or if he signed somewhere else. He's still out. He's still out there. We need that spot filled. We can bring him back or look elsewhere. But
That boy gone.
hon-
I can.
honestly, I feel like you can get much better than him from a production and locker room standpoint.
I feel like he's gonna land in Chicago or Carolina. That's my prediction.
He's going somewhere where they're going to give him a bag for sure. He played his way out of the Cardinals lineup, but
And those
that's
teams are desperate enough to pay for that bag for him.
I,
And like,
and I wouldn't say that before they got Akeem, but they're getting linebackers. If they're signing multiple linebackers. It's like, yeah, Kaiser's gonna go.
I was gonna say
We
not
got
only that,
Mac Wilson.
we
We're
mentioned at the
good.
bid, we got Ujulari coming back.
Yeah, we're fine, bro. They really like Ojolari too, and
He was
we
a
have
beast
a lot
at
of draft capital, so we can probably draft a linebacker if they really need another linebacker that badly.
so we're not gonna put either Ojulari or D-Rab on the other side at edge with Sweat.
No,
That makes no sense. Okay,
I think we should put somebody else there.
so we need to get maybe draft somebody then.
Oh
Who
yeah,
But
we
knows?
pair
draft
up with
Zayvon Collins too.
Sweat.
Zayvon Collins is gonna be in that linebacker group. He's gonna be a backup probably, but he'll be there.
Who knows? Maybe Shamar Stewart falls to us at 16 and we get our next Miles Garrett.
That's so funny. I have in my mock draft us taking Tyreek at 48 because I traded the 47th pick for the 48th one with Seattle. And Tyreek Williams from Ohio State, I think he's going to be a game wrecker, man.
Nice.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
So shit, you guys want to get into the mock draft since we're already leaking into them anyways?
Might as
Yeah.
well.
How do you want to do it?
Well, since it was your idea, Dylan, you should go first and do your mock.
So are we doing like I do my first round, then go and then rotate first and second and whatever?
Well, how many picks do you have?
Uh, I have like
3, 4,
three
5,
fifth
6,
round picks and nothing more than that.
7, 8, 9. I have 9
I'll
picks in
count.
total.
Hold on. I would have to leave. Can you guys still see me or no?
You just
No,
draw.
it's okay.
I got 5.
I
I'm
got 9.
counting. I'm counting real quick.
But like I said, that's just me doing, no movement, no trade, sticking right to our board. But I feel like Monty's going to do something.
I have 9 picks.
I got 9 too. I traded once, but I felt like I'd be really. It would hurt the Cardinals if I didn't make the trade. I had my GM hat on, so I did the trade.
There you go.
All right. So since I'm going first, so with the six. I'm gonna stay at 16, preferably for the Cardinals. And after everything so far, looks like they go defensive line and go Kenneth Grant from Michigan.
Oh, knew that
Yep.
guy.
Yeah, I like to go Kenneth Graham from Michigan. Surprisingly, last season he wasn't much of a ball swatter, but I don't know, something about him to me. If you look up his highlights, I call him a mammoth. He's a huge ass dude, almost like Vince Wilfork like, and he can pat the ball or swat the ball down basically. And basically in 3 years with Michigan, 9 sacks, all right, but like could be better. But I feel like having more defensive line help would definitely help us. That's why I didn't really mention it as much with free agency. So.
Not
That
only
was
that,
my first round pick. That would be
you have somebody, like him coming in and being developed by Nick Rawlis.
definitely. Hmm.
Are you gonna just do one? Is that it?
I don't know if you guys were gonna do. We should have planned this better, but
Did you
I don't
want
know if
to
you guys were gonna say your first round picks too after me or whatever.
Okay, I'll do my first round pick then. We could do it like this. I stayed at 16 for this pick with the Cardinals, and I chose Will Johnson, cornerback from Michigan. Um, he is the 6'2", 202-pound cornerback. He's a great tackler. Um, he is a specimen, and he's just known for being able to not get tricked by quarterbacks and diagnose routes and stuff like that. So I feel like he's just like a ready to go NFL cornerback that has elite size and strength and stuff like that. And he anticipates the point of the ball well, and will get interceptions. So I did Will Johnson, cornerback out of Michigan. I think it's a fire pick.
good stuff? So 2 Michigan guys so far. With my numbers, my number 16, yes, I good as well. I went with, and surprisingly, Shamar Stewart, Ed from A&M, did fall to us. There was a couple guys that I was interested in also, but I feel like Stewart has kind of the raw Myers Garrett potential that hasn't been tapped. He is an athletic specimen, and I just feel like getting, the development from getting the Nick Rawlis, the dude can be a Pro Bowl level player just with the right coaching. And you just saw with, in game speed that he just loved to get to the ball.
Love that.
Nice, nice. So with my second round pick, I believe I traded back 2 spots in the second round pick and gained 2 additional 5ths and all that, and got rid of my 6th and 7th. So I got 3 5th round picks out of it. So I trading back 2 spots. I still drafted cornerback Benjamin Morrison from Notre Dame. Little fun fact about him, and I didn't even know this, and I found this out with some research with him before the show. He's actually from Phoenix, Arizona.
Nice.
Yeah,
Ooh,
so kind of similar like Byron Murphy a little bit. If you look, if when I was watching his tape, so he could be like another Byron Murphy hometown kid situation if we were to draft him. Plus another need at corner. I went a little bit later than Dame at corner because I don't know, D line. I don't know. We need both. So at least going D line then corner in my mock draft, I felt like we got both needs covered. Um, in 3 seasons, he's got 6 interceptions. He's a great tackler. He pretty good at swatting the ball too from corners. So yeah, I feel like getting him would be pretty dope. So
Nice. For my second round pick, we had the second round 47th pick, but I traded it to actually the Miami Dolphins. And they gave me a ridiculous haul. They must have needed a quarterback at this spot or something because they gave me uh, the second round pick, right one spot after it, 48, and then I got uh, a fifth round pick and 3 7 round picks.
dang.
Yeah, so that was a massive haul for that one spot. And what I decided to do with my second pick was go with Tyleek Williams, defensive lineman from Ohio State. And this was a scouting report from NFL Buzz. The team that drafts Williams is getting a rare athlete for the position who brings legitimate three-down potential if his pass rush continues developing. His combination of explosive power and nimble feet makes him a scheme versatile defender who can anchor against doubles or shoot caps with equal effectiveness. His flashes of dominance against top competition hint at his ceiling and potential as a game wrecker on the interior. And this guy is 300 plus pounds with some of the fastest 100 or 10-yard burst speed and stuff like that. So he's a freak. He played against top competition at Ohio State and dominated them on the interior. And we need someone that can get in there, wreck the game, and get sacks. So Tyleek Williams, if we can get our hands on this dude, I will be super happy.
Yeah, that's a that's a
Nice.
that's a haul just in one player.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah.
With my number 47, I went with interior offensive lineman from North Dakota State, Gray Zabel. And as if, we already know North Dakota State produces NFL talent. He was a mainstay on the offensive line. Just love all the, just love the intangibles. We need somebody to pair with Paris Johnson. We need that depth to fill out. And just the fact that he's played in big games, he's been reliable, he can knock guys over, he can keep. We need guys that are going to extend the plays and keep Kyler Murray upright. And this is one of the guys in the draft that I feel like can do that.
Nice. And speaking of giving Kyler Murray help, I believe this is the pick where I do give him some help, and I do. I ended up drafting offensive tackle Emory Jones from LSU.
Ooh.
Fun fact about Emory Jones from LSU. He played with Jaden Daniels while he was with LSU, so he's already familiar blocking a mobile quarterback, which I kind of dig that because, not many offensive linemen really like playing with mobile QBs, so.
Well, you kind of already knows the tendencies, like you did mention with Jaden's skill set compared to Kyler's.
Yeah, my hunch though, I feel like the Commanders could get him though before us. Because getting him in the third round in that mock draft was kind of too low for him.
I love it. I also went with an offensive lineman. I went with the tackle. His name is Wyatt Millum. He's from West Virginia. He can be a tackle or a guard. He's a really good tackle, but they're saying that NFL wise his arms might be too short to be a tackle. But the reason why I chose him is because he's good at blocking on the second level, and he doesn't let people get in on bull rushes. He's super hard to bull rush. He's really sturdy, and I think that's the kind of lineman that Kyler Murray needs. Someone that can move and someone that doesn't let people push him backwards into Kyler Murray. So I really liked him. I looked on a lot of tape for him, and he's a beast, man. He got little arms, but I would still stick him at tackle, and that's why I chose Wyatt Millum out of West Virginia,
And sorry,
78.
real quick, before Frankie, I want to say with Emory Jones, there's a couple tapes with his highlights where like this dude literally, if you've seen like The Blind Side, the dude literally Michael Ord a couple defensive linemen and just
Sheesh.
drilled him, bro. So like I dig that. So yeah, Emory Jones would be dope. Sorry, Frankie, go ahead.
Oh, no, you're good, man. I love to hear that. We need guys
Yeah.
that people up and throwing. But speaking of dogs, with my 78th pick and a position that we did talk about earlier at the linebacker position, I took Carson Schwessinger from UCLA, linebacker.
Nice.
Dude is an absolute ball hawk. Good in coverage. He knows where the ball is. And if UCLA had one thing go right, it was definitely hitting on Schlesinger because he can be an NFL ready, caliber linebacker. The minute he jumps into camp, he's got a high motor. You watch the tape, he is good on lockdown, and we need more guys that can play the run and drop in coverage.
I was gonna draft him, but I didn't do it. He's the type of linebacker that Jonathan Gannon and Nick Rallis really like. Those cover they love those off the ball coverage guys that can diagnose shit, and he's definitely that. So good pick, Frankie.
Nice. So with my fourth pick, I decided to add to our wide receiver room and go with Tev Johnson from Oregon. He looked really, really fast on looking at his highlights, and I guess Oregon had like the most fastest players like on their offense last season. So I figured, oh fuck, we finally got a fast wide receiver. Well, it's not the case. I was kind of reading some notes on him and all that, and let me see, let me find it real quick. So I guess at his 40-yard dash time, he ran a 4.51.
That's so slow for a receiver.
That is, and I guess it was slower than expected. And I guess since 2003, no wide receiver at the NFL scouting combine weighing under 170 pounds. He weighs 154, and he's 5'9", has ever run a slower 40-yard dash than Johnson. And for his agility, it says despite the 40-yard dash time, Johnson shows strong agility in other drills, leading all wide receivers in the three-cone drill and posting the fourth best time in the 20-yard shuttle.
See, that's the thing I was gonna mention. I heard, you heard the thing about him having a bad time, but like it was weird because he was such a mixed bag. He had a horrible start, and then, like you mentioned, there were drills that he just looked phenomenal.
Yeah, and
I don't really
he
think the
still
40s
he
all
still
that.
he still scored 10 touchdowns back to back season with Oregon because he played with Troy 3 years prior. So he was in his fifth year of college. So his first year in Oregon, he had 86 receptions for 1,182 yards, averaging almost 14 yards a carry. Last year, pretty much the same, a little less, 83 receptions for 898 yards, averaging 11. It's still 10 touchdowns. So, like, he's pretty it showed he's pretty decent. So, but it's just kind of the scouting notes was just kind of hating.
Well, it's just like we all know that. I mean, not really the best look for him, but we know that game speed and drill speed are two completely different things. And the minute the ball's in the air, that guy is a burner.
He had Dylan Gabriel throwing to him, and that dude was Heisman candidate. So if he has a decent quarterback, which we do overall, throwing at him, he should be okay.
Yeah, for sure.
I like that you said we had a decent quarterback.
Hey, listen.
I'm trying to be nice.
I think
He's not bad. He's not horrible, but fuck, when it matters, it's like, what happened to you? But
no.
that's another subject in another time.
So yeah, I think me and Dylan have had the same position group each time except for the first two picks where it's swapped, where he went D line cornerback and I went cornerback D line. But since then we've been picking the exact same position group because I also chose a receiver. Uh, but I chose a receiver that the Cardinals surely probably will not draft. But I would love them to. His name is Savion Williams out of TCU. Now the dude is like 6'4", 220, but he's so fast. He's very fast. He's like DK Metcalf and Debo Samuels combined. He is the man is a freak. He's got 600-pound squat and a 355-pound bench press. He had a 75-yard touchdown reception against Texas Tech, and in his last season, he had 6 scores through the air and 310 rushing yards and 6 touchdowns on the ground too. So you can give the dude the ball, and as a running back, and you can give it to him as a wide receiver. He's like the ultimate, but he has hands problems. The only thing is he's got to get better catching going. But if he gets open and he gets the ball down the field, he's a game breaker. So Savion Williams out of TCU, I would have picked him with 115. That's one of the picks I got out of that trade. So why not shoot?
Well, dang, Damien, we meet at the same spot. It, I ended, I'm at pick 115, but I took Savion Williams as well.
Nice.
Literally, you highlighted. I don't even think I could add much to it. The dude is a gamer. He's an athletic specimen. He is a genetic freak. Like you said, DK Metcalf kind of build. He does have the inconsistency problems, but give him the right receiver coach, give him the right offense. Dude's going to feast. I love the pick. I hope it falls there to us, but wouldn't be surprised either way.
I just don't see the Cardinals being that team. I
There's always
really
that
would love
chance.
that. What?
There's always that chance Monty deals and trades up, but there's always that prayer out there. So
I mean, I look at it this way. We missed out on DK once. If we see this guy available, I don't think we should miss out again on his kind of, type.
For sure. I would hope not, man. He's gonna be fire if he gets the right coaching.
And imagine pairing him with Marv.
It would be crazy, dude. It would be crazy. And him and Trey McBride in the red zone. Oh my god! And he could run the ball in too. He could do the push.
Michael Wilson.
Yeah, Yeah, Savion Williams, dude. I'm calling it now. Whatever team gets you is getting a dog. So I'm big. I'm big on Savion Williams for sure.
Yeah, no, the minute you said that, I was like, oh dang, he's literally
Oh
reading
shit.
every.
That's cool though. I'm happy that we both have a consensus pick.
Yeah,
Nice. I didn't do as much research as my last four picks, so are we doing like our later round picks? Are we just gonna kind of briefly go through it, or how do you want to do that?
Just say the pick that you have next.
So the next pick, which I believe might have been another fourth round, because I remember exact because it was oh yeah, it was pick 119. So I had two fourth rounds and three fifth round picks. I have to look back on the how the trade went down. Interesting. So yeah, so the second fourth round pick after Tez Johnson, I drafted another offensive lineman because I'm trying to replicate the Eagles and help James Conner and Kyler out, respectively. I ended up drafting this dude named Ozzy Trapilo out of Boston College, and oddly, it gave me a B plus, but screw it, I'll still take it. I mean, he might be good enough for a starting spot eventually down the road. Who knows? So yeah,
All right. So the next one, I got another asset in my trade. Was pick 150, and I used it on Oklahoma safety Billy Bowman. Billy Bowman, he could be right out there with Buda Baker when we do our three high safety look. He's just so versatile. He could even play like cornerback. So he's just one of those players. He played linebacker, safety, and cornerback in a season and did well at all of them. So Billy Bowman, I sign him up.
dude, that's a jack of all trades guy. Like he can see the field pretty much all the time. It's great to have a guy that can play multiple positions at a high level.
Yeah, I'm excited about Billy Bowman Jr.
But yeah, with my last, like I said, because I didn't do any trades through mine, but so with my last pick 152, because we're missing some rounds this year due to last year, I took Ty Robinson, defensive lineman from Nebraska.
Nice.
Just figured, good talent, big hoss up front, get him developed along with, guys like Darius and Sweat, get him some PT. I think he's a good project and he can definitely find the field for us.
nice. So basically, since you're out of it, I'll just say my last three third round, or not third round, fifth round picks went with another corner to try to add more depth there and try to get solid there for the long term future. Um, from Kansas, Kobe Bryant, out of all names and people.
Hell
Uh,
yeah.
that was at 152, and then at 164, 165 back to back. So at 164, I went defensive line again, trying to add more depth there too at both positions because I've been needing that for a long time and been desperate for that. Defensive lineman SMU Elijah Roberts, and then kind of was everywhere was kind of iffy. So I was like, well, it kind of went dress corner a little bit, and then now fortunately Asante Samuel all that. Went safety, went with Jonas Sinker out of Virginia. Basically more than likely death move. Who was that rookie last year that balled out for us? I spaced out his name at safety. Dorian Thompson or something like that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
know you.
Yeah, so like we're still good at safety, but like adding more depth there, I feel like would be necessary, especially if like Jalen or Buda both go down. So I feel like depth move at safety would be the move at my last pick at fifth round at 165 and being done there. So
Nice. At 152, I took Ashton Gillette out of Louisville. He's an edge rusher, a defensive end. Um, Pretty good. He's very, very good. He had 11 sacks and earned. He had a lot of sacks. He had 11 sacks in one season for them, and then he had 5 sacks the next season. But yeah, he's shown a history of being disruptive. We need all the help we can get as far as the D linemen go. So that's what I did at 152. What did you have any more picks?
no, I went
Uh,
through my three fifth round picks.
okay, I got the 3 7 rounders out of the deal too. So I'm gonna say those people real quick. Running back Jordan James out of Oregon I took him at 224. He's like a goal line running back. And then I did 231 Vernon Broughton, another defensive lineman from Texas. Really good pedigree. He could be like a backup or maybe even a starter one day. And Jake Majors, another inside offensive lineman. This guy he can move. He's nimble. He's quick. Perfect lineman for Kyler, and that's kind of what I did there.
Well,
For
seeing
the
the thing that that's great about linemen on both offensive and the defensive side of the ball, it's just like you can find NFL shapeable talent in late rounds,
for sure,
and they can start for you.
100%, dude. It's crazy how many. I was looking at so many draft profiles. I'm like, dude, a lot of these guys seem like they could be good.
And the thing is, like the league, like even guys that are drafted in the 7th round are more athletic than they've ever been before.
Dude, Shannon Sharp was a 7th round pick,
And for
Brady
his
was
area,
our weight too.
freak.
and he's like the second best tight end of all time, maybe third.
I still remember that sideline phone call like that they show in all the freaking NFL
Mhm.
film previews. Attention, Mr. President. You need to get the military in here because we are killing the Patriots.
Shannon Sharp was always a star, dude.
Mm.
Funny guy. Now it's our turn to get our Shannon Sharp and our Skip on.
I was gonna say we already got Trey, so that's a good start. But speaking of your shirt game, we are literally days away from the regular season kicking off.
I know. I'm
Who? The
excited.
Dodgers?
The who?
I just look at it this way. We have baseball headed our way. We are expected to do well. That is unprecedented. Our owner decided to finally spend money.
My.
It's a good time to be a Diamondbacks fan.
So we don't have Mr. Krabs as an owner anymore?
Apparently not.
No, we just have him hitting home runs in his first spring training game. Eugene
Yeah.
Krabs.
I guess Carroll and Suarez have been on fire, man, at spring training. And that we
That's
needed
Brent.
Carroll to spark up again.
Damn right.
I'll tell you what, between Suarez, Carroll, and Naylor, just alone, our offense is sick. And then you add Kettle, freaking. Our lineup is insane.
They all right. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, we have such a good team. It's cool.
I'm just still concerned about our relief a little bit.
Still no closer. Wah, wah, wah.
I was gonna
I
say
think we'll be fine.
even Martinez has almost a 7 in ERA in spring so far.
That's nuts.
Martinez has a what ERA? 7?
A 6.75.
Oh God,
That's really bad.
that is bad. That's horrible. That's not that's not clothing
Basically,
type.
when I went through the statistics, I think outside of maybe a couple relievers, the only ones that had an ERA below 4 were like most of our starters. Outside of Montgomery, who still looks like a wet paper bag.
Yeah, I can't believe him, dude. Like, what the hell, bro?
The
What are we doing?
Yankees need a pitcher though.
Right, he might go to the Yankees and be magically good, though. I don't want that to happen.
I don't want him
How
to
many
be
D-back fans would
us
be
though.
so angry and infuriated if he went to the Yankees and
Bro,
just
dude,
pitched stellar?
I would literally be so mad if he went to the Yankees and started being good. I would lose my mind, bro.
And I know a Yankees fan too, and I would hear about it every fucking day.
Every day.
I would know so.
I'll tell you what's going to be interesting is I wonder, what do you think? Is Jordan Montgomery going to magically find his old form, or is Trevor Bauer going to get a chance in the MLB again?
I don't think either of those things are going to happen.
I feel like Bauer is officially Kaepernick from the MLB.
For sure. He got Kaepernick, reverse Kaepernick.
Clearly, for different
Dude,
reasons.
I mean that's pretty true though. He's
They both did it to themselves. That's the truth.
dude. But
He can go
Corbin
to.
Burns.
Hey, at least he can go to a Drake Campagnana concert.
I'll be fully honest. I saw the headline immediately. Jordan Montgomery, poor outing. I was salty immediately. I was like, I'm not even gonna fucking look. So I don't want to know.
It's
I just saw
spring.
that he got shelled and it was horrible.
It's spring. I'll absolve him of all wrongdoing until the season.
Right. I'm just glad Gallen settled in his second outing. It definitely went a lot better than the first. I tell you what though, freaking Burns looks untouchable.
Good. He's has the fourth best odds in sportsbook right now as being the Cy Young for the
Well,
NL.
not he like I'm pretty sure he's only allowed one hit in about 13 or like 12 innings, and he struck out 13 guys, and he's got 3 dubs.
Crazy.
Yeah, that's nuts.
And it's just spring training.
He's the only person that's playing like it matters.
Did you guys know that Merrill Kelly is adding another pitch to his arsenal?
Oh,
Oh,
geez.
He's trying to work on his slider.
A
oh.
slider's a good pitch. I mean,
Yep,
it,
he's been working on his slider.
how old is he though? Is it? Can an old dog learn new tricks?
I can't look it up. They'll boot me out for
I
sure.
believe Kelly can do it.
I believe
He's
he's
a
in his mid
professional
30s,
pitcher. He can do it.
like at least like 35ish. He's getting up there for sure.
Because I want to say he's like 34.
36.
Oh,
36. Jeez, yeah, he's getting the 40 pretty quick.
Yeah, are you gonna learn a new pitch right now, dog? Focus
I mean,
on the
I look
other
at it this way
pitches that
though.
ain't that good to begin with. No, I'm just kidding.
I think, I think maybe it's just him because of his age trying to, you know, compensate.
Adjust.
Doesn't have to try to ease into a fastball too much.
That makes sense.
Maybe it will help his cramps when he plays at Chase Field.
Hey, hopefully, dude. Sheesh.
I don't know, man. Drink some more water or something. You know, that make me a hypocrite because I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I never drink water. So,
I drink hella water. I have to.
I might as well have a IV attached to me. I'm always drinking water.
what's the price I pay because I've had 2 kidney stones so far, and I guess people through their lifetime end up getting multiple. So,
Ooh,
yeah. And I'm over here still not drinking water. Not in the
no,
first 2 times.
Wow,
I know.
that's not wise.
I know. I need to get better at it.
you guys want
Seems
to
like
do
we,
Brad?
seems like we don't have a lot to talk about with the Diamondbacks, huh?
I mean,
This is
hey,
a
it's
random
spring
story.
training.
What's it about his
It's all
cramps?
hit or miss. It's
I'm
exciting,
just
but
fucking around. The audience is gonna get a lot of personality in this episode. But no, on a serious note though, is there anything else the Diamondbacks can do though? They done. I think they did a good job of retooling and you know
the only thing I think they can better figure out is how they're going to attack the closer situation. Right now, the only one, like the only reliever that I trust to not get knocked around on any given inning right now is probably Puck.
that's fair.
I suppose, but I still don't feel good about it.
Yeah, me either. But it's fair to say that though. But it's like still like, I
I
don't know.
know.
But
Yeah,
I mean, who knows? Maybe right before the season, Kendrick drops another surprise, and we end up with a established closer.
it can't be that expensive, right?
You would think not, but
Somebody
we've
that's
been
desperate
linked
enough to
to
pay
so
for
many
cheap.
closers this offseason, but we haven't pulled the trigger, or they've just gone elsewhere.
Weird. Let's call
Man,
smacking.
we went
But
from good vibes to maybe depressing vibes to the Suns? Question mark.
The
no,
who?
the
The
Suns are the
Suns.
question mark. Jesus, this season is worse than a flaming diaper.
I finally give up. I can no longer be optimistic. I just can't. I'm so sorry.
I mean, I
Like,
can't either.
the only thing
But
that I hope is just like we can't keep what we have now. The offseason has to be a big overhaul.
It sucks, but it has to happen.
I can't be optimistic either, but the only thing that's really doable is if Mavs shit the bed way worse than us, which I think they just give the fuck up more than us at this point. And we win just a couple more games than them, we just slide in at the 10 spot. That's the only chance we have. That's the only
See,
faith I have, and I don't even think that'll happen.
last night you saw that, between the Adams and Plumlee fight, we shoot. You got situations where we show more fight right there than we have on the court playing the damn game.
Yeah, that shit was crazy.
Man, Plumlee shouldn't even be in there like that, man.
And then you got,
I don't know what the fuck Budenholzer's
and then
doing,
the
man.
other day you had Vanilla Ice chirping at Kevin Durant. It's just like this team is super distracted, and it's like everybody they can't even take it anymore.
I think Kevin Durant, once he found out that they were chopping him, he said, fuck this team, bro. Y'all can win, lose, who cares? I'm going to get my 30. I'm going to look good for the next team. And I'm going to go to Dallas and play with Kyrie. And now Kyrie's hurt. So now he's probably like, damn.
Yeah, and I guess Jason Kidd was just bitching how like there's nobody left to play because everyone's injured too.
That's nuts, dude.
So they're in a nutshell more than we are actually. And I
Yeah.
thought nobody else could be worse positioned than us right now.
No,
Well,
there's teams, bro. We're not even in that bad a position. We're just our situation is magnified and made worse by the fact of what the expectations were for Kevin Durant and Devin Booker and Bradley Beal. You know?
I tell you what, but it's just the whole Bradley Beal is like I've said it in multiple socials. Like I feel like he alone is kind of handicapping the franchise due to his no trade clause, his contract, his barely availability, and then only the Wizards and the Hawks wanted him.
Listen, bro. That is not Bradley Beal's fault. That is Matt Ishby's fault for accepting that no trade clause. He could have did everything the same as he did. All he had to do was say, "Sorry, brother, you got to waive that no trade clause, or we will not take you." You know?
Right. But he was so certain that that throwing money was going to fix everything that he was like, yeah, we'll create this clause. And
Yeah. Did nobody tell him, "Hey, at this point, even if you save the game, you can't go back"?
Bro, I don't know who hates the Cole more, Damien or Bradley Beal, because you have DK Metcalf talking all this shit about I want to play one where they're show the briefcase full of fucking millions. Oh, I'll play in the cold. And then you have Bradley Beal, who's getting paid way more than DK Metcalf, just refuses to play in the cold with the amount of money that he makes.
I don't
So I
blame
don't
him,
know who
dude.
hates the cold more.
I wouldn't want to go to those shit teams either, bro.
He's still getting paid the same regardless, and the Suns could still pay him some money if we were to agree to that.
He wants
So,
to be in Phoenix with the hoes and the weed.
hey, I added him on our X page. I was like, hey, bro, Denver's a good spot too, and Denver's got some fireweed too.
dude,
So
I'm dead.
it's like you said, it's just like I have nothing, it's not Brad's fault. I don't have any personal beef with him. This whole season and everything has just been hella frustrating. And everything, like, we can't continue going forward with this team. It has to end.
Well, the thing about Bradley Bill's trade clause means that they have to trade somebody else.
Right,
That's what it
yeah.
means.
Unfortunately, it's going to be KD because not only does he hold the most value, but he's one of the guys that has already actually, unfortunately, been shopped. So everybody is already lining up before the season's even ended to be like, oh, well, this is what we can give you guys.
Yeah,
that would be an
no doubt.
insane package if
The
you put
media,
Beal and
like,
KD
they're
together.
seeing media on Phoenix so much. But, I mean, half of it's warranted.
There's even chatter out there about trading Booker too, and the insane amount of like possibility what we could get back in return. All the first round picks and a possible player too.
If they trade Devin Booker, I'm literally gonna go to whatever team Book gets traded to and become a fan of that team. I'm sorry, I'm done. I can't do this anymore.
I was gonna say I cannot see another franchise icon be jettisoned to another city.
The Suns haven't given me anything to stick around for. If they trade Booker, I will be pissed.
Yep.
What would the next solution be around Booker though to get that championship ring for him, or else he's just gonna be like Larry Fitz and never get his ring and just be a forever ringless AZ icon and goat.
Did you hear the 3-team trade that
Hey, Steve Nash did it and nobody cared.
He still went to the Lakers, bro.
That's right, and he still gets more love than Book.
But yeah, no.
He
Did
don't
you
go to
guys
Phoenix as much
hear?
either, like for visits and games and shit.
For absolutely nothing.
Yeah, I
He didn't
know.
do shit.
I tell you what, though. There's Did you guys hear the hypothetical trade that involves us in Houston and Utah?
What is it?
Basically, Katie goes to Houston, and then we get a first-round pick and Laurie Martin.
That used to be really appealing. Laurie Markkinen's been asked this last couple of years and injured bunch.
Didn't Katie like had some kind of interest with Houston at one point, and then just went elsewhere with like Brooklyn or whatever team it was?
Who?
Katie in Houston, like he was interested in playing for the Rockets at one point, and weirdly, I think it was the Nets he chose instead or traded to. I forgot what scenario it was, but he had interest with Houston at one point.
I tell you what, I've lost track of how many times Katie's been, mentioned somewhere.
Right.
He has a soft heart for Houston and Texas though, so
I tell you what, I look at it this way. It's been a pleasure to watch one of the greatest basketball players of all time, play for our team, the Suns. But this is like, I almost much rather put him in a situation where he's able to at least chase something real, and then we can just
If they can do something where they can get Bradley Beal to go to the Lakers or something.
Who would we want back from the Lakers? Would we get
I would want Austin Reeves. They wouldn't give up Austin Reeves. They've already stated that they're not trading Austin Reeves, but I would take Dalton Connect. I would take they already traded Dalton Connect, it just didn't go through, so he's back on the team.
See, that would be so demoralizing to me. It's just like I don't even know how I'd feel walking back into that locker
Bro,
room.
he took like a week or two off before coming back to the team.
I don't blame him.
Yeah, what the fuck? You guys didn't want me? Oh no, we love you, Dalton.
Yeah.
That would be crazy, bro. To have to do that, to lie and act like you never wanted to trade him.
Yeah,
like bro, I was already on the plane. I was in Charlotte, but the old bro didn't pass his physical, and so he had to get back. That's being like and that's the side of being an NBA millionaire that people don't see. Is that you literally can get traded like cattle and have to uproot your whole family, no questions asked, and go live in the cold ass Toronto. Imagine that, dude. You living in Phoenix for 5 years, and all of a sudden, the team doesn't want you anymore, and you have to go live in Toronto. Like, oh, that would suck balls.
Or better yet, be Chris Paul. You just helped the Suns get to their first final since the 90s, and then 2 years later, we're going to kick the tires off, send you to Washington for Brad Beal.
Yeah, Tyus Jones. What the fuck happened?
It's crazy work.
I know.
And then you got, don't even get me started on Tyus.
No, start on Tyus. We want to hear it.
Do we?
We still have a few minutes left of the hour.
I mean,
fill up the hour.
Yeah, we still have a few minutes of the hour left.
As much as this whole team collectively hasn't been good, it's wild that we've been so inexplicably bad when he's been on the court. And he's supposed to, this is a contract year. This is a prove it. This is a, hey, pay me. This is, what I can do kind of year. And he's, just the theme of this year. It's down the...
I honestly feel like every addition we've gotten under Ishbia hasn't performed the way they should, except for KD. KD's been awesome, but the coach has been underwhelming. The free agent signings have all been underwhelming. The Monty Morrises, the Tyus Jones, all the people on the bench that we got that we were excited about originally.
That don't even score half the time.
Right. Don't even get to play. Nick Richards, he played half the game. Mason Plumlee playing half the game for some weird reason. What are we doing? Why are we doing this? What doesn't make sense?
Well, it's embarrassing. Like I don't
I
know
think
who I don't know who
the
should feel more embarrassed, like the fans watching it or the players being like living it.
I think the Bucks owner paid Mike Budenholzer double to go sabotage the Suns.
Well,
The beef
if
will never
that's
end.
the case, he definitely did his job.
Yeah, double agent complete.
I think I already snapped without even admitting it. With the Suns, I mean,
Yeah,
I was a little hopeful explaining with the Mavs 10th seed and us like what we're like what 2.5 games back. I think was around 16 games left. Is that the
yeah,
game or amount about that? It's still doable, but really we could slide in because we win just a few more games than the Mavs. But it's like yay, but like we could very well face OKC and just get clapped. So.
Well, I was gonna
That's
say,
just
and
how I see it. So I just don't really have much to say on it. Really, I'm just fucking burnt out with it. Like just as much as you guys are.
you guys know, like I'm one of the most optimistic, you know, that kind of energy kind of guys when it comes to hey, things are like this, but I think it can. I'm almost to the point where I'm even like this is unfixable.
yeah. I think the players are at that point already, and I hate to say that because I'm pretty optimistic too, but it just doesn't seem like the players. They want to win. They definitely do, but they can't. They just can't do it. It's like we're in a close game. The game's on the line. 7 minutes left. It's like now we're down by 10 somehow. How
Yeah,
did this happen?
Yeah, crazy, crazy, crazy.
I look at it this way though. At least we have some positive basketball headed our way this weekend. The tournament will be a nice, no matter what your team is, at least the tournament's always fun to watch.
It is. They make games fun to watch sometimes, but I just wish it was just more consistently. And since we talked about it last week, we still haven't won at least 3, 5 games in a row yet. We just can't do it
It's
Dude, we
nuts.
can't.
Let's lower it down to 3 games in a row.
right now. We can't. We
We
have
can't
to
even win 2 games in
go.
a row. We can't win one game in a row.
Okay, we have 16 games left. What are the odds we go on like an 8-0 bubble sun run again?
I think
Well,
they're good. I think the Suns have been right in these games, and they just need to find a way to like play better in the last couple quarters.
well,
Maybe that's
if I remember it, like even Devin Booker made a statement. It's just like when it comes down to it, in times that matter most, like it's the simple things like cuts and motions that it's like they forget how to play.
And the turnovers are so bad. Just watching the games, I've watched almost like all the games this season, and the turnovers are just so awful. The
But
eyes is
how is
trying to
ball
get.
security not being fixed? I
I
don't
don't get it, dude.
understand that. Even in
Give me,
practice,
give me back the ball movement that we had with Mike D'Antoni.
Hell, give me back the Chris Paul ball movement we
I was
had.
about to say the same thing. Yeah, I was about to say the
We'll,
same thing.
we'll call him up from San Antonio. Be like, yo, Chris, we fucked up. Come back, bro.
Wemby's out for
Uh,
the season, anyways.
yeah, Chris Paul ain't like that. Once you show him that you don't want him, you could just kiss his ass. Cause Chris Paul ain't like that.
It's too late for that, anyways, to trade deadline up.
Dude, listen, man. If there's one thing I could wish I could undo is us getting rid of Chris Paul. You can do the trade with KD, but just keep Chris Paul, KD, and Book. I think that would have been legit.
I feel like that's the biggest injustice and probably one of the biggest, at least in NBA history, that Chris Paul and KD never got a chance to run it back.
I think that they should have let DeAndre Ayton run it back with that team too.
I feel that way too, and
Not
I
popular opinion, but we share that one because it's just like why break it up without seeing what it could be? They went to the finals, buddy.
and to think that Aiton was basically tossed for Nurk.
Yeah, that's crazy. And then we get rid of Nurk, and then we're gonna get rid of KD, and it's like, what do we do the trade for then? If we're just gonna get rid of everything we got and
I
just lose
know.
assets,
Feels
it's
all
just,
wasted.
it's gonna go. Yeah, everything was wasted. We lost all those first round picks who turned into awesome players like Timothy Camera and like why?
See, the,
Yeah, I mentioned him last week too. Kamara.
Yes.
Ugh,
Yep.
painful.
Yeah, it
This
just
is
doesn't make any
why
sense.
you can have all the money in the world and still be absolutely clueless and brain dead.
Yep.
Hopefully we figure it out. Hopefully we keep KD. We'll have a change of heart. We get a
I,
big haul for Bradley Bill, and our future is back. But that's not gonna happen.
I just want a team that plays all four quarters and doesn't fall asleep at the wheel.
That's a whiteboard thing, I feel like, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know, man. At this point, I don't know if this team just they don't care. Maybe they just
That
don't want to
too.
be together no more. Who knows what's going on behind the scenes?
It's anybody's guess at this point.
Yeah.
But I mean, things need to change. Whether that's you keep KD and Book and sweep everybody else, or you keep Book. I don't know, but you got to do something. We can't run like next year. We cannot start with this.
Nah.
And I
But
hate
we
to say,
can't also keep
like
switching
we might
everything.
even have a new coach again, which is absolutely ridiculous to say because that would be number 4.
I think Bud is
Valid.
safe.
He's DOA.
Well,
He is DOA. Like he's probably going to be pushed out of his office the day the season ends.
you think so? I think that he's safe.
Who, Bud?
You
Yeah.
think he's staying?
Yeah, he gets another chance. I personally feel like he should get another chance
I,
too.
I I just feel like HB is not going to want to look bad by firing Frank Vogel and then turning around and firing. But it'll make the Suns look unstable. It'll be hard to hire a third coach in a row if they know they only got 1 year to get.
Yeah.
If anything, James Jones should be the one that gets the can first, in my
I think
opinion.
he's the most likely person. He's the person that makes sense to get fired. You can't fire Ishbia. You
Right.
can't fire the coach again. The GM was the common denominator in the last bad 2 seasons, so you can fire him and not, even though it may not be his fault, nobody will be like, "Oh, damn," you can fire him for sure. He's probably going to be getting fired. He'll probably get fired before the season even ends.
Yeah, I would say that the Phoenix Suns are probably the only team that either have a worse situation or on par with what freaking Nico Harrison, created in Dallas.
Hold your horses. There's Philadelphia too. They got a pretty awful situation with Paul George and Joel Embiid over there too. Paul George has been injured the whole time he's been a Sixer, and so has Joel Embiid. He's been injured the whole time Paul George has been a Sixer. So it's just been
Shit,
like
Paul George
Tyrese
has had more
Maxey.
podcast episodes than he's played on the court.
True.
He literally has more podcast episodes than games, and that's why he had to stop his podcast.
Us three been getting more shit done than Paul George with our podcast.
Facts. Except for
Trending.
me.
And folks, if you like what you see,
Yes.
Yes, sir. How many subscribers are we away from 50? Frankie, you were keeping us updated earlier.
5. We
5
have
more now.
5 new followers in the last week and a half.
Nice.
Nice. So 5 more away from going live on YouTube.
Yes. 5 more
Make it
beautiful humans. We're
Shoot.
almost
Well,
there.
I was telling people they should definitely tune in this week to give us those earned 5 more subs so we can finally go live. So hopefully after this episode, if they decide to listen. Hopefully like what they see and what they heard, because I feel like that mock draft and free agency was a fun segment for sure. So
Oh yeah.
Sure was.
Not only that, but it's just like once we get rolling with the D-backs, and it's just a good time. Like I said, we're trending up. All of our hard work starting to pay off. We love doing this.
We love it so much, and we love you. So subscribe and buy some merch or join the Facebook page. It's all in the description below.
Gonna
and
say
thumbs up
just
the video too.
give us a
Yes, please hit the thumbs up. That helps tremendously.
huge thumbs.
Mm-hmm.
2 thumbs.
Oh, look at that with Frankie. Let's go.